remember from the book, you gave her that song and when you met her, correct? So I would
Yes,
love to talk about different luminaries and just some of the things that stuck out from each person. So can we start with Dr. Maya Angelou and that experience you met with
yes.
meeting her?
Oh, goodness. She is amazing. In Hawaii, Dr. Maya Angelou came to speak at a church. I didn't, I knew about her because my mother, who went to the City University of New York when she was younger, my age at the time, actually, in her 20s, met her in New York and heard her speak and bought her book. Then that book was set on the shelf in our home. We have lots of books in our home. Books are very important in a home. And one day, as a preteen, I was a very precocious teen. I was reading, my mother's a clinical psychologist with a PhD. So I was reading all of her psychology books by 10 and 11.
And the book
And
was I Know Why the
I know why the
Birds Sing.
cage birds sing.
This
Yeah.
one, yeah.
And unfortunately, I was about 11 or 12. So I was really shocked because I didn't know about many of these things, but it was important. And I remember the color of the book, it was orange, and I remember the bird was black. And just by chance, when I'm in my 20s in Hawaii at the University of Hawaii, I find out that she's actually speaking. I go to see her speak, and I'm engrossed. And it takes a lot to engross me because I get bored very quickly. And for the first time ever, I was still, sitting still for an hour, hour and a half. I don't even know. I never sit still for an hour and a half. But she brought me on a journey of not just speaking, but storytelling, singing. It it was all encompassing and all engrossing. It was not a talk. She brought me to her land, right? Dr. Maya Angelou land. And I was so happy to be there because in that land I mattered. And in that land I could be seen. And in that land I could be me. It's very hard to explain, but I can see it in my mind now because I will never forget that. And this is, let me just say I'm older, almost 40 plus years later that I'm remembering this. But anyway, I saw her and I had to go to a class because this is the time where you book in the class and if you're not there, you get in trouble. So I went back to my class, took my moped, zoomed back to my class, took the class, tried to zoom back again, which was only 10 minutes, but for the reception. When I arrived there, it was done. And she was in the car and she saw me in the moped and she stopped the car. She was in back of the car. And I was so surprised that she stopped. And she put the window down and she said, "Can I help you, baby?" And I said, "No, ma'am, I just want to thank you. You gave me everything I need. I'm so grateful." And she said, "Okay." She put the window up and I thought, okay, that's the last I'm going to see of her. I had a friend and I called up you know how you have your two people removed from somebody you want to know. So I
Exactly.
called up a friend and I said, I I really want to give Dr. Maya Angelou something because she gave me a gift and I want to give her something back. And they said, okay. They then told me, they called me back and say, okay, go to this address in Waikiki. And I thought, okay, I went to the address. I think I'm just going to bring her my music. And a woman comes down and I think I'm going to give it to her. She says, no, come up with me. So I think I'm going to come up somewhere and give someone this music, right? And I get to the door and it's Dr. Maya Angelou. And she said, come in. But what was so amazing about this encounter is that she took over an hour to sit me down. First of all, she asked me, would you like to sit? It was a hotel suite, but more like a hotel apartment. It's hard to explain, but would you like to sit in the living room? Would you like to sit on the terrace? Well, no, I want to sit on the terrace. I love being outside. So there's just the two of us. The other person stays inside, and she talks to me about my life. What do I want to do? What am I thinking of? How is my life? How's my life going? And all of the time is about me and nothing about her. This is who I am. This is what I've done. Nothing. And at the end of this, I feel really good, but I'm also a little stunned. And she says, "Is there anything else?" And I said to her, how do you keep giving when after you've given everything? And I mean, when she was on that stage, she gave everything. I don't even know how she had the energy to walk off the stage. Right. So I said, how is it that after you give everything and people still want more, how do you deal with that when you literally have given them everything, but they want more from you? Give me a signature, give me this, give me that. That's why I said, no, thank you. Do you want anything, baby? I said, no, thank you. You've given me everything. And she said, kiss. I said, pardon? Keep it simple, sweetie. I said, yes, ma'am. So I don't know what that encounter to this day, she made me understand that I was important, and she gave me time and respect, and she saw me and she said, you are important, and my time with you is important. And the fact that I spend time with you asking you, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And she expected me to pass that along. So that's why I'm really happy that within this book, I passed along the story of her. This is not about me. This is truly about her and the gifts that she gives to people.
Yeah, and it's an incredible story. And even in like reading it in the book, and even when you explain it there and reading into the book, it pops out of her significance and who she was as a person.